part of it is mind, part of it is spirits, and it just is supposed to all blend together so nicely. But if I stumble over something, it's not my thought. That's why I'm just the person in the middle. So this is basic 101, the law of attraction. And I know that's, it can be redundant because we hear about it so much, but Spirit obviously wants us to re-emphasize these thoughts today. And I know many of us have studied natural law. I remember many, many years ago taking the class with Reverend Ann. It was kind of intimidating, as was Reverend Ann at times, for many of you that knew her. So many laws and so many consequences and so many steps to remember, so many laws. So it was like, well, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. If you do this other thing, then that's going to happen. So it was kind of mind-boggling. It was actually overwhelming how many laws there really are. And you think, well, how did I function before I knew about all these laws? So you take in all that information, and sometimes you set it aside on the shelf, because who would need to know natural law in their busy day-to-day life? Well, as usual, all this, what you thought at the time was useless information, you store it in your brain, comes back around. So I've learned as I've tread and stumbled and tripped on my path of spiritualism, that what I've learned does come back to me in some form or another, good or bad. So back to this law of attraction. I was having my coffee this morning with my cats jumping all around me, just trying to distract me. And I read a very interesting and thought-provoking line. As you know, I often struggle with what I'm going to talk about until I just realize just to give in and step aside and get out of the way. So how do you get my and Spirit's point across without offending anyone in some way? It's not always possible, I've learned, to not hurt someone's feelings or pride or ego, not intentionally. So I've learned that Spirit is very honest. We know that. And they can be very blunt. They can shake their heads no when you ask for something you believe you want or deserve. And we all know all the times we've bought lotto tickets or something, and you come so close sometimes. Oh, you get 4 numbers or 5 numbers even. But when you sit down with Spirit and they just shake their head and say, no, it's not to be, so don't bother anymore. And boy, that really shuts you down. Like, really? There's no hope in this lifetime. Not going to happen. So I guess I, as always, just trust Spirit. I'm not going to try to prove them wrong or argue with them. So save your money. I mean, that's me personally. You can meditate with Spirit and see what they tell you. It can be a little fun. You can sometimes get the Willy Wonka golden ticket, but for me, Spirit just smiles and says, it is not to be. So back to the law of attraction. And the quote I read, which was really not attributed to anyone in particular, it said, what you about most or focused on the most is what will appear as your life. So wait a minute. I know I've heard that before. This is obviously one of those learning opportunities. As I've gone along many years taking that class, I made myself more aware of what was actually going on around me. Natural law, the laws of God, the laws of the universe. So how do they play out? Something I really thought about was the law of abundance. We all like the law of abundance. And I remember Reverend Ann saying, we will never run out of anything. The world was created to have enough of everything for everyone. So, wow, how can that be, I asked. That was just so hard to comprehend and believe, but she was very emphatic. She said there would always be the resources we need. So, look around you. We have found ways technologically to pretty much reproduce or recreate everything. Food, water, sunlight. Man's advancements in science due to spirit guidance and inspiration. So call it what you will, but the resources do replenish in some form. So back to the quotes about the law of attraction. Look around you once more. What have you attracted or brought into your own life? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it ugly? Is your life in constant chaos or disruption? Are you surrounded by the white light of the divine? Or have you allowed Pigpen's grayish cloud to swarm over you? Remember, what you think about most or focus on the most is what will appear as your life. Do you focus on the general health and well-being of you and your family? Do you focus on loving and taking care of yourself and loved ones? Or is it just a dog-eat-dog world you live in? Do you just focus on the belief that it's every man for himself out there? It's just all about the Benjamins? Money, material things, power over others. Succeed, succeed. However you attain what you feel you deserve. Well, I am a believer in natural law, and I continuously study life and what it all entails. Not just for me, but those around me. I do a lot of readings for people, and I see the way they choose. They choose to live their lives. Spirit sees all. Believe me, they see all. And they don't pull any punches. When you need your hand slapped, not literally, of course, but figuratively, they will do it if you ask their opinion of something. Something you're doing and how you're doing it, how you're going about getting what you believe you deserve. They'll let you know. And just like Jiminy Cricket told Pinocchio, always let your conscience be your guide. Are you living by this principle in your daily life? What is it that you truly want to attract into your life? Think about it. Is it wealth? Is it being famous? Is it hitting the lotto? Or is it just the general health and well-being of you and your close loved ones? What do you focus on the most? Because let me tell you from personal experience, that is what you will attract to you. What's truly important to you. Are you surrounded by the love and the light? Are your emotional and physical needs being met? What constant appears as your life? So I tell you that what I want most in life is making other people happy. I like to make people happy. I know people that like to make people sad and like to hurt people intentionally. And I know many of us have hurt other people, but it wasn't intentional. So that's kind of what makes me tick. I work very hard in so many ways just to make other people happy and whole. I try to give them what they need, meet their physical and spiritual needs. So I believe, as I know many of you do, when I wake up in the morning, I ask Spirit to let me help at least one person every day, at least one. I can do something for them that causes happiness or joy and doesn't cost me a thing. I can say something that they need to hear today. I can help ease a burden. I can try to take away a hurt. So I truly believe, through the inspiration of Spirit, that I can help. That's why they put me here. So I can most definitely try to do my part. And sometimes you see the result, and sometimes you don't. But that's okay too, because that's between me and God. I know I tried. I put forth the effort. So the more you are thankful, the more you attract things to be thankful for. It's almost like I said, basic 101. It's real simple. Count your blessings, like it says in the song. Really count your blessings. Think about it and see what God has done. It really works. Just look around you right now. Hasn't God been so good to you? You have found this place on a beautiful spring morning, a place that's totally non-judgmental, a place of peace, surrounded by the white light of the divine. So whether you're troubled, weary, sad, disheartened, or grieving, this is the place you are this Sunday morning. And you have been led here by Spirit somehow, some way. You were meant to be here today. So if you are those things I mentioned, chances are you will not leave this place of peace in the same sorry state you possibly might have entered. God is light. Infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it, is here. Look around you. We might not have a big cross up here floating or crucifixes on the wall, but God is here. The law of attraction is in pure evidence here, right in this room. You will attract what you are. You know that you are a spark of the divine yourself. You hold that within, and no one's ever going to be able to diminish that light or snatch it from you. Love is here, all about you. Pure, unconditional love. Truly divine and everlasting. This is a place of light and comfort. We are here together today because we have attracted this. The law of attraction is so strong, it will pull in what you have put out. Be conscious of this. Be aware of the energy that you put out. The word does go on, spinning in our universe, slowly and surely, always taking care of itself. The earth continues long after you and I have evolved. It takes care of itself and regenerates, as we do when we make our transition to the higher side of life. It is part of the divine plan that God, infinite intelligence, through the universe, has implemented. And boy, are you a big part of all of this. So focus on what you truly want here during this short time on earth. What will appear as your life. I choose in service to others as I have been inspired by Spirit. What can we do for the others about us that will truly give back or attract back to you? I'm very thankful for what I have attracted into my life, and I know that I've been blessed. But it didn't just drop out of the sky or the clouds right into my lap. I believed. I made the choices to attract only the highest and the best back to me. And that's you. You have been attracted to come in here today on this beautiful spring morning. So, infinite intelligence, God, we all bless you all today as you continue on your path towards the infinite. So thank you for listening to our talk this morning.